All right, perfect. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you guys really enjoy this particular session. We're going to make it interactive. Let's make it more fun. And more importantly, if you guys have any questions at any given point, feel free to drop in the comments. We can take some questions later on, probably over the call, if anyone feels comfortable. But yeah, let's get started. Just 1 second. I'm going to share my screen now. All right. Is my screen visible to everyone? All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. In today's webinar, we're going to be talking about how to go from 0 to 44,000, irrespective of whether you're building your career right now, you're looking for a job. It doesn't matter whether you're trying to build your startup or you're a founder already, you're an established company. It doesn't matter. Being on LinkedIn is extremely important today. And what I have achieved is something that you can achieve at the same time. I'm going to share everything and lay it out for you guys so that you can try and replicate. Also, at the same time, I'm one of the top voices on LinkedIn. You can probably just check my profile. I'm going to share my profile in a moment. But yeah, let's get started. And today we're going to be talking about the neural pathway framework. This is a very special framework that's been designed, especially by me, after being on LinkedIn. Also, by the way, I was one of the top 200 creators on LinkedIn, picked up by LinkedIn. I was a part of their LinkedIn Creator Accelerator program. So I've really worked very closely with LinkedIn to understand what all things really work on LinkedIn and what doesn't. I've been featured on LinkedIn news a lot of times at the same time. So yeah, let's get started. Quick introduction about me. I'm Udit Goenka. I'm an active angel investor. I've invested in about 38 startups. Failed miserably with one of my startups as well. That's where a lot of learning and experience comes in. Have exited from two successful startups. I've been creating content for roughly around 3 years now. Have shared across whatever contents I make. Generally, a lot of my contents is around my stories and especially about my framework that has specifically worked for me. I've got about like 100K plus followers across different social media, especially Twitter and LinkedIn is where I'm pretty proactive. And I'm currently building Tiny Check, which is India's very first fully funded agentic AI venture studio. So our startup is fully funded at the same time. And under Tiny Check, which is the name of my startup, we currently have three products under our portfolio, which is Neom.ai, one of the fastest growing legal tech platform, QCall, one of the first agentic AI call center, and autoposting.ai, one of the first agentic AI content creation platform. Also, like I mentioned, I'm one of the top voices. Enough about me. Let's start talking about LinkedIn. Let's start talking about the algorithm shifting and changes that's really happening. Now, one of the most important metrics that's very active in LinkedIn, especially in 2025, is the dwell time, which means how much time someone really spends on your post, on your content, reading them. That's something that's extremely important. So make sure that whenever you write contents, you write in a way. Again, I'm going to sharing all the techniques and strategies, the tools that needs to be used over the period of time. But yeah, in case you have any questions, start dropping them in the comments. So one of the most important metrics in today's time is dwell time, which means you have to add pieces of content or some pieces of image or something where people would spend a lot of time on your post. It could be some great conversation as well. So one of the great hacks that a lot of marketers, one of the top growth marketers like us that are using is we ask some of our friends to drop in some great questions within the comment. So it's not the actual post that makes any content go viral. That's one of the biggest myth people have. It's actually the comment section because that's where the community starts engaging. That's where you would see a lot of community members dropping in some great questions. So if you can create some controversies or some thought-provoking questions over there within the comment, that's when you will start seeing your content really blasting out. So go ahead, and if you have not watched that, go and see any of the content that actually goes viral and look at the comment section. It's the comment section that actually makes the content go viral and not the post in the actual post itself, right? So that's very important. The second is how much of a visibility your post can have. That's again very important. Third, AI generated content without human refinement doesn't work at all because LinkedIn has the ability to detect those content. So if you're just using plain just chat GPT, writing, hey, write me this post on LinkedIn on this particular topic, blah, blah, blah. And if you're just copying and pasting those content, which I know for the fact a lot of people do, trust me, it's not going to work for you, right? It's just not going to work for you. So it's very important to again use right strategies. Again, I'm going to share how to do that. Also, at the same time, I'm going to be talking about auto posting as well, which is one of the softwares that we have built at the same time. But again, if you don't want to use that, I'm going to share more strategies with you guys. And fourth, make sure that your contents are authentic. It contains some value. That's very important at the end of the day. Don't just post for the sake of posting. Make sure it creates value. Very important. And again, it needs to create meaningful conversation, which is what I just mentioned about in the dwell time as well. The next very most important thing is the average LinkedIn users now follow about 30% more creators than in 2023, which means that people want to consume more content in 2025 than what they used to in 2023. That's one of the major shifts that I have seen as well as my account has grown. I've seen the quality of people really going up constantly within my account. And again, this is the perfect time to start utilizing these platforms, start creating content on a regular basis. If you can create contents every single day, trust me, you will see this the growth sort of coming in. And again, I'm going to share some strategy, but also make sure that you guys join the Discord channel. I've already shared because you can use the Discord channel and maybe like write in your content. And and at the same time, what I'm also going to do, if we can just mute themselves quickly. Yeah, I'm just going to mute everyone for now. All right, sorry about that. Yeah. So and again, I'm going to be creating one engagement pod within Discord as well, so that if you want, you can post your content over there and everyone can start liking and commenting on each other's posts. That's a great way to really go viral. I'm telling you, like you will be able to really exchange a lot of networks over there. And plus, if you get active over there, if one of your posts is pretty active, I might end up liking, which means that about 55,000 of 45,000 of my followers are going to see your content at the same time. So I'm going to be creating that pod engagement channel. So make sure you guys join the Discord channel very, very, very. Again, if you all can be muted, that will be great. Perfect. All right, then again, executive feeds are seeing 2 to 3x more content. Again, start posting content. Very, very important. Decision makers are focusing on building their own personal brand already, which means that more and more decision makers are now getting proactive on LinkedIn. This is your time as well to start getting active on LinkedIn and start posting very, very, very regularly. And more importantly, just stand out, right? Again, I'm going to share some of the strategies. Again, I'm just sharing the landscape right now to begin with before I dive into the actual content. Now, let's talk about a bit of the personalization, right? The generic content engagements has dropped by 40% since 2023. Now, earlier, if you would see that when the chat GPT era just came in about 2023 and 2024, a lot of people would just go create generic content and post, and a lot of them were getting engagements. But now people know if a content is created using AI, they can figure it out using the emojis, the kind of choices of words. It really lacks emotion. So people have stopped engaging with those kind of posts and those kind of contents. Very important to change your strategy completely. Again, I'm going to share what to do, how to do, what kind of post to write. I'm going to share everything by before the end of this webinar. Again, users expect content to be tailored to specific industry challenges, which means that focus on what you're really, really good at. So if you're someone who is, let's say, a chef, talk about the food industry, talk about the challenges, talk about your company, right? People want to know more about your company. And if you're just out there, let's say if you're a developer, start talking about the new changes that is happening, the new framework talks that are happening, because at the end of the day, you need to focus on who your target audience is and start creating contents around them. That's very important. This is one of the major mistakes people do is they just blindly create content without figuring out whom to really focus on. Because if your content doesn't reaches to the right feed and you do not build networks with the right people, then it's all pointless to build any of those networks. Because at the end of the day, if you're building these networks, if you're building these followers, you want to make sure that they buy from you at the end of the day. Or if you're looking for a job, you end up getting the right kind of job opportunities at the same time. Or if you're a founder, again, you reach to the right decision makers. That's very, very important. So building those strategies is something that's very critical. So stop creating generic content on LinkedIn. It's not going to work. That 40% is probably going to go to up to 80% by the end of this year. Then then again, the comment demonstrates how important it is. So again, I was talking about earlier that it's very, very important to get the right sort of engagements. If you will not be able to get those right engagements out there, it becomes very difficult for any kind of piece of content to really, really go viral. And again, lastly, the one fit all approach of the content is become ineffective. So start channeling down and start focusing on certain industries. That's the way you can really stand out. Otherwise, if you start posting again generic content, it's not going to work. Now, here is where the AI advantage gap is really coming in right now. What we are seeing right now is the early AI adopters are posting about 3 to 5x more consistently than manual content creator because it takes time to create content. But how do you use AI? Again, I'm going to talk about it in just a moment. Then one of the most important thing is to optimize your profile, because majority of the people that I see do not optimize their profile. If I see any good piece of content, when I click on the creator's profile and see their profile, I don't know what they're trying to do. It's a good piece of content. It might go viral, but what's the point if you do not have an optimized profile? I'm going to show you how to optimize the profile using AI. So stick to it. I'm going to share in just a moment. Then professionals using AI are able to build relationships far more and far better in a most effective manner. And finally, the performance gap between the AI powered content and the traditional approach has been widening, which means, again, if you use AI the right way, you have plenty of opportunities coming in for yourself. Now, let's talk about some of the problems of manually creating all of these strategies. If you do everything manually and if you don't use agents, AIs, and all of these crazy new buzzwords, again, it becomes a big problem. So, again, I'm going to talk about these problems and then we're going to dive into the actual solution. So, generally, it consumes about 9 hours on a weekly basis if you are going to do all of these activities manually. It's just too much of time consumption, right? Second, content creation alone takes about 3 to 4 hours per quality post with research. That's actually true. Like, when was the last time any one of you kind of like created a piece of content and how much time it took? If you guys can just drop in the comment, let me know. Are you guys active on LinkedIn in terms of posting? Just drop in a comment, guys, and let me know so that I can also understand how active you guys post. I'm going to share the Discord channel in just a moment. Guys, again, let me know how actively do you guys post on LinkedIn? Paul is saying she is pretty active, 5x posts per week. Great. Sanoj is saying yes on a weekly manner. So that is once per week. Pranav is saying once per week. Romil is not active. Again, guys, very, very, very important to start being active on these channels. Let's see. Okay. Gautami is saying she rarely posts monthly. So again, you're not utilizing LinkedIn, right? What's the optimum posting ratio? Post every single day, Sanoj. It's very, very important. Sometimes I go crazy. I post like 3 to 4 times a day as well. So yeah, just go pretty crazy when it comes to posting. As long as, again, you're creating value, right? That's very important. Value can be anything. I'm going to talk about it in just a moment. So 2 hours per post. Wow, Shreya is spending a lot of time to create a single post. That's crazy. And only she posts once a week. So that's not enough. Trust me, because you get someone probably 20 seconds, right? No one is going to remember you if you're just going to post once a week. Again, very important to be active. But it doesn't affect the impression rate per video if posted daily. No, actually, it doesn't, right? Because if you're posting video content, chances of your contents going viral is very, very high. I use Expandy to automate my LinkedIn content. That's great. If it's working, absolutely great. There are, again, like I said, there are various softwares. Pranav is saying, how do you create so much content, man? I use AI, I do research, and again, I keep up with the trends with regards to what's going on. Again, I'm going to share some of my processes in just a moment, right? So again, some great engagement. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing these. Again, I'm going to make sure that the session is interactive so that I can, again, make it more personalized for you guys who are in this webinar, and I can sort of like start sharing more of these strategies. As I mentioned, content inconsistent issues, that's being there, right? Manual creation takes a huge amount of time. It's just time consumption, right? Then again, messages and positioning frameworks, they all are very time consuming. Quality content, it's again difficult, right? Building that audience gap, is again difficult. And if you're not consistent, then you're going to get penalized, because the way LinkedIn algorithm is working right now is if you are regular, if you're active on a daily basis, even if you post one content, chances of your contents being able to reach to more people is very high, because the consumption of these contents have gone up drastically, which means LinkedIn is saying, please create more content, please create more content. By the way, the best form of content that's working absolutely incredible right now are video contents. Right, I'll share one of the recent videos that I shared. I think it got like 200K or 300K impressions or something like that. I'm going to share that. That was very recent share that I did. Right, again, I was not expecting that, but videos are working right now because LinkedIn has just introduced a video section specifically in the mobile app. So yeah, like right now, videos are working fantastically well. I'm probably going to do my next webinar on how to use AI to create videos so that you can automate your entire process, just using your avatars and things like that. So I'm going to create that process. I create such videos pretty often. So I'm going to do that in the next webinar so that I can keep on delivering great value to you guys. Again, next, let's talk about how to really personalize your content on scaling. Again, I'm going to talk about in just a moment. Mute. Okay, perfect. Yeah. And then the highest value prospect opportunities, right? Also, at the same time, if you're not active, you're actually losing out on a lot of money, because when people start seeing your content, that's when they discover your profile. And when they discover your profile, that's when they reach out to you, right? My DMs are filled in, right? Like I'm able to create like millions and millions of dollars worth of pipeline for all of our software just by being active on LinkedIn. Like that's how beautiful that particular platform is, apart from the rest of the platform that I use. But that platform is just incredible because people are very serious on those platforms. Then again, be active, because that's going to help you discover your profile. If your discovery improves drastically, that means people are going to probably, again, like I said, a lot of HRs will probably reach out to you if you're looking for a job, or if you already have a job, they might want to like just hire you and pay you 20, 30, 40% more salary, right? More salary hike. So again, there are opportunities. And one of the other things that happens is when you're posting actively around a certain topic and industry, you also get discovered in searches very often. That's how LinkedIn's algorithm right now is working. So start getting active, right? Do whatever it takes. AI, non-AI doesn't matter. Please start getting active on LinkedIn. Very important. And finally, here are the opportunities that you're missing out by not being active, right? 68% of engagement opportunities occur outside of business hours, which means that you're probably sleeping, and that's when people actually discover contents. The highest value comments typically arrive within 2 to 3 hours of posting. Again, start getting active. And then people are searching for your contents all day long, right? This is where LinkedIn is no longer just a platform to create content, but it's also becoming a discovery platform because people are searching for various opportunities on LinkedIn. So here is a great post. You might want to take screenshots, whatever it is. And by the way, if you guys are liking the content so far, take a screenshot, tag me on LinkedIn. Again, like I said, I have about 45,000 plus followers, so I will probably engage with your content if you like it. Again, create some sort of summary out of this particular webinar so that it will help you. Right, not right now, but down after the webinar is done. Again, great opportunity. Tag me on Instagram. I'm gonna repost whatever you guys post today. So that just helps you to discover your account at that stage. So first, it's very important to start using AI agents. I'm again going to share. There's a great tool known as Lempod. You can use that for creating pods and engagement. It's a paid tool, by the way. And none of the tools, like I said, apart from auto posting is our tool, but none of the other tools have paid. That's a complete disclosure to you guys. This is the tools that we use, I use on a regular basis to kind of like really spike up a lot of the accounts. So Lampod is a great tool to create those sort of engagements. I think it's about like $10 per pod per month, but one pod itself will help you to have like 40, 50 comments within your post in a very short period of time. That really, really, really helps out, right? Like to really get going. If you want to just boost your account initially, do that. But then again, join our Discord channel. I'll create a specific pod engagement. It's going to be free pod, so you guys can post your LinkedIn content that you're getting active on a daily basis. Post it over there. I would love to engage with your content, especially if you have created those content using auto posting. Then I would engage with every single piece of content at that particular stage. Then autoresponders have worked very well. I typically use a software known as HeyReach for that. Again, I'm going to talk about it. And more importantly, today it's very, very important that you use AI to further dive in and understand and analyze everything. Again, auto posting is something that I personally use to create about like 90 to 95% of my contents today. This is something that we built for ourselves internally, and then we released it for public. Feel free to sign up. It's a free platform to begin with. You guys can get started right away. HeyReach is something that we use for all of our LinkedIn outreaching. Again, it's a paid platform, no promotions, no affiliation of any sort. This is something that we use, and hence we recommend it. If you are using the paid version of ChatGPT, you can use GPTs. You can create your own GPTs. I'll probably keep another session on how to create those GTPs for yourself. If you already have a paid account, if you don't, then again, you cannot create GTPs at that stage. And then we use something known as Claude to do a lot of analysis for the profile. I'm going to show that live in terms of how to analyze. I'm going to take one of your profiles and start analyzing in real time. I'm going to show you how to really do all of these things. And again, I'm telling you, it's magical. Then I use an app known as Shield app for all of the analytical parts of the things. Again, it's a paid app. You can probably try out the trial version, but Shield app is something that I use for all the analytics. Hopefully, we can have this in auto posting down the road. And then I create a lot of A/B testing contents on auto posting to understand what really works, what doesn't work. And finally, we're gonna create some great strategies today, right? So again, I'm gonna do all the demos in just a moment. But here is the introduction to my neural AI framework. This is how this four-step frameworks actually work, right? It starts with optimizing your profile. It starts with your content framework. I'm going to share my content framework in just a moment. Then using AI agents to analyze, understand, and create contents. And then finally building up your lead pipeline. I'm going to show how to create those lead pipelines as well. Again, no matter whether you're doing a job, whether you're looking for new opportunities, you're building to have a startup, or you just want to start like an agency in the side to just get going with, it works out amazingly well for each one of them. This is that particular framework. It works to the charm. I've been using this particular framework for the last 3 years now, and I've created like millions of dollars worth of sales for myself, my clients, everyone using this particular framework. So now let's talk about how this actual individual framework works. And it's specifically built for LinkedIn and LinkedIn only. You can try it on other networks. It works good, but for LinkedIn, it works amazingly well because, again, most of the people that you're going to connect with over there are looking to buy. They're looking to purchase. There's a question coming in from Tanoj. How can I get maximum client and reach for marketing? Again, that's what we're talking about. Tanoj, I'm going to start diving into more it and start sharing my screen and do some tool analysis in just a moment. Shrey is asking, are these with face or not necessary? Shrey, you can post with face if you can. That builds a lot of trust. If you do not want to use your face and just post content as well, which is faceless content, that works as well. Completely up to you how you want to do it, what you want to do it. That's up to you. But again, just get active, right? As long as you're creating value, it doesn't matter whether you have your face or not. But then again, I'm going to share again in the next webinar. I'm going to create a great strategy for you guys where I'm going to show how to use Avatar to create contents. It's very easy. It's not that difficult at all, but we're going to keep it for the next webinar because there's, again, a lot of things I want to share with you guys, but it's too difficult to cover everything in this one webinar. But this is where just join the community. You can be a part of the community, active. I'm going to personally help you, each one of you out within the community. I've shared the link. I'm going to reshare the link in just a moment. Here is the Discord link. Feel free to join in to the community and join whatever channels you want. We're going to keep creating more channels within the community. So again, and then we talk about the 4 interconnected layers, right? Like I said, the profile optimization is first one. Again, take a screenshot, post it if you want. This can be a great piece of content for your LinkedIn, by the way. Take a screenshot of this particular piece of content, just create a post out of it on LinkedIn. That can be your tomorrow's post, by the way, or on Twitter, or this can be the next reel that you want to create, right? Again, good opportunity for you guys. Now, let's move on to what are these 4 content of layers that I was talking about. This is the 4th piece of content that I post. That's it. I don't go beyond outside of this 4-layer of content framework. This is all you need to know. This is the only kind of content that you need to create. The first is the story layer. Creating pattern interruptions by cognitive filters. It's very important to understand that storytelling is magical. Now, how do you do storytelling? Just talk about one incident and the second incident, and how do you fill in those gaps? That's how you create a story. That's it, right? This is what happened, and this is the result of why it happened. That's all. Start talking about your story. It's very important to be vulnerable, right? If something terrible happened, talk about it. Something great happened, talk about it. But more importantly, be vulnerable. What I've seen is that the more authentic your stories are, talk about those stories. Trust me, when you start meeting people, they would remember those stories. And that happens with me all the time. Every time I've shared my story, whenever I meet someone, they remember every piece of those story, and that becomes a conversation starter. For majority of the time, people would come to you and they would want to talk to you. Very important to understand how these story layers work. Again, we have this covered in auto posting. I'm going to share that in just a moment. Then second is value layer, right? This is where you share some great insights, great data, and then reward people, right, by letting them have those particular piece of information. That is where the value creation happens. For example, you guys joined in this webinar, and I'm hoping that you get some value out of it, right? I'm going to do my best to create this value. Some might get a lot of value, some might get less value, some might go not get any value at all. Again, everyone is at a different stage of their career. Third is identity layer. It's very, very important to create your own image, to create your own brand. That's very important. That's where the personal branding really comes into picture, where you are talking about yourself, good, bad, ugly, whatever it is. Start talking about yourself. If you're just going to post content about your company all the time, it's not going to work. I'm just telling you, right? Talk about certain incidents. Talk about how you had a great conversation with your friend that lead to some ideas and strategies, right? Talk about some of your failures. Some talk about some of the things that you tried and it just did not work at all. Talk about it. It's very important. But more importantly, if you talk about your failures, those kind of contents do extremely well, because you are probably giving, you're covering story, you're covering value, you're covering identity, and you're also covering conversion layer down the road, because you start building something incredible. And then some of the conversion posts that I'm going to share, that works absolutely wonders on LinkedIn. But again, provided you have covered three layers where people can trust you. If people don't trust you, the conversion layer doesn't work, right? And that's where the conversion layer is at the end of this particular framework funnel, right? Very, 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 very important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Claude to begin with. And why don't one of you guys share your profile with me on LinkedIn? And I'm probably going to do some analysis in real time. So if some of you want to drop in your LinkedIn URL, please let me know. I'm happy to kind of like check into it and share with everyone live. So let's see, we have Mohammed, who's given his profile first. Okay, are you guys able to see Mohammed's profile? Please just drop in yes if you're able to see this particular screen. Oh, perfect, perfect. All right. Let's go and see, right? So let's begin. Mohammed, you are wasting this particular piece of real estate. I'm also going to tell you how to do this using AI, right, in just a moment. But let's do some real-time analysis and then I'll compare with my profile. So the first thing over here, you believe dreams work is equal to hard, dream comes true. You're wasting your real estate over here. Mohammed, please change this and talk about what you can actually do, because this is the first thing that people see, right? And if you don't create value over here, the chances of you probably creating more value for people is going to be low. And that's probably why a lot of people might not want to connect with you, right? Very, very important to do that. Second, here you have written founded Jodify, 2x entrepreneur, Eureka finalist 24. Again, I don't know why I should connect with you. You need to update this particular piece of real estate, this piece of web estate for yourself in your account. Please do that, right? You've already enabled the creators mode. If you have not enabled the creators mode, please go ahead and do that right away. Let's talk about the about us section. Build my first startup. Good. This is okay, but please dive into the storytelling part further and go a little more deeper in your about us section. Very, very, very important. It's just too small. You have not gone into too much depth and detail. Again, I'm going to talk about how to do that using Claude and how to improve that. You have featured some of your posts. That's great. But you're missing out on something incredible as an opportunity. I'm going to share that in just a moment, right? I'm going to show my profile, and then I'm going to do that over here. Activity, post, articles. All right. Again, you're missing out on so much opportunity over here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show my profile, and then I'm going to show how to use my profile for an example, and then start optimizing your profile. But before that, let me just take one or two more profiles as well, and then I'm going to optimize some of you guys' profile. So there is. So let's go to Rommel's account. So let's see again, Rommel, you're wasting your real estate over here. Please fix this. SDE at the rate high level. Okay, gold medalist. Again, I don't know, right? If you're working at, so let's say if you're a software engineer at Go High Level, talk about what exactly you have done. Like, hey, I've built this piece of software or this piece of feature over here, and this is what I've done. Talk about it. Again, you're missing out, right? You being a gold medalist at DAICT makes no sense. Like, people are gonna be like, okay, what do I know? What do I do about it? Like, how is it gonna create value for me? So you have to fix that over here, right? Your about us section again. You're talking too much about your skills and not about your story. Please use this section to write a story. Again, very important. What are you doing over here? Like, what have you done in the last 5 months? What are your responsibilities? Talk about it, right? Again, you're missing out on a lot of those opportunities for yourself. And finally, get some endorsement done. You have 50 skills, very less endorsement. You need to work on that. Very important. I'm going to take one more and then I'm going to share my profile. Let's take Parul. Hey, Parul, good to see you here. So, all right. Parul, we commission, again, not sure what exactly it does. Like, I know what we commission does, but most of the people who join in, they will be, okay, what is we commission? So you need to sort of change this. Very important. Co-founder, Global
Yes,
Affiliate Network for e-commerce. Instead of saying Global Affiliate Network for e-commerce, travel, and this, you can probably say that, let me help you create your next $1 million using our affiliate network. And you will right away see the number of people DMing you is going to skyrocket, or whatever the typical value creation that you're able to do. When you're able to do that, when you make it about people, you will be able to create a lot more value. People will genuinely reach out to you at that particular stage. So that, and let's go over here. Your about us section, again, you're missing out big time on the about us section. You need to work on these. Most of your featured content is actually outside of LinkedIn. So you will have to rework on this and share some of the pieces of content that has gone viral for you. So you'll have to rework on that. Post section is great. And again, you're missing out on some great real estate over here, right? I'm going to share my profile now and just show you a simple comparison on how you can rework on everything. Right away, as you can see, I've written down what all things I do, and things are very clear in terms of what I really offer. Over here, I'm using this as a great opportunity to also put up my picture, and what more importantly, the kind of things that I do, so that it's very easy for people to get right away. Second, pictures are great. Always make sure you're putting up a smiling picture. Very, very, very important. Keep it close up, like front facing, camera facing, where if I look at it, my eyes are very visible. That's very important. Now, if you see over here, what I've written, we help companies implement agentic AI to reduce marketing, sales, and ops cost by up to 70%. My DMs are ridiculous, right? So again, very, very important that please work on this. Make sure you let people know this is exactly what we can do for you, right? Apart from that, I've added some great credentials that I'm an angel investor, I'm a TEDx speaker, and I've been featured by LinkedIn India at the same time. And I'm building India's very first funded agentic AI venture studio. So this gets me some great traction, but it's the first line, right? Because if I can capture someone's attention in the first 3 seconds, they would spend a lot of time on reading my profile, right? And then because I'm like ultra active on LinkedIn, probably is the reason why a lot of my posts has gone viral. Probably is the reason why like I've ended up getting a top voice batch last year. So that kind of like helped out, right? In the last 7 days, I've generated about 30,000 plus impressions. But more importantly, I've had about like 77,000 plus profile views, and that's pretty incredible because the kind of people that just look into the content and reaches out to me after that is great opportunity. But I keep a check on this almost every single day. And if I see some great profiles coming in on my profile, and if I'm not connected, I send them a request at that particular stage. Right now, over here, this is where the about us section. Just check this out. I've literally written down my entire story of what has happened in the last several years. This gives me a great opportunity because I'm able to connect. And what I've done is I've created my own hook over here because when I started at the age of 16, it was just 256 kbps internet connection, right? Now, whenever I meet someone, this becomes a conversational starter because people can relate. And my target audience is someone who is in their 30s and late 30s, 40s, or 50s. So when they see this, they find it a lot more relatable. So that kind of like really helps out. So make sure that you find something that's more relatable of in terms of what you have done, how you have done, that's extremely important. Please use this as an opportunity to write in the form of story. Then again, this is another top skill area that a lot of people do not utilize on. Please add this again, extremely important. And probably just add in some of the services that you add as well. There's another section for this, utilizes, right? If you um, do any sort of product as well, just add in those as a service. Now this is the most important part that a lot of people miss out is, please create a newsletter inside LinkedIn and make sure that is the first thing that you feature. Because if any of your post goes viral at any given point and when there's a flood of new users coming in, you want a way to capture them. This is where when you create a newsletter inside LinkedIn, the first thing that they see is the subscribe button. And when you have some great pieces of content, boom, there you go. And you have just gotten them to subscribe to you, not just follow you, because now anytime you post a newsletter, they all get notifications. So if I post a new piece of content inside my subscriber list, LinkedIn is going to send out 12,544 notifications for me. LinkedIn does that for me, right? So use this as an opportunity. A lot of people do not do that. Also, at the same time, not any a lot of people know, but you can actually tag your company and feature that over here. This was very recently introduced as a feature. Use that as an opportunity over here. Again, sort of very important that you kind of like feature those, right? Extremely important. Apart from featuring like rest of the things, right? Now I'm going to talk about my frameworks in just a moment. As you can see, some of my post has absolutely gone viral. I'm just going to talk about it in just a moment, right? Then if I go over here in terms of experiences, you will again see that what does the company do? Here are my responsibilities. I have clearly defined every single piece of these content. Again, I'm using this as in real estate. Gives me a great opportunity for every single time. And whenever people come in, they have a very clear idea of what I do in this particular company, my roles and responsibilities. Again, just go ahead and update this, all of these things. If you're too lazy to do that, I'm going to show you the AI way of doing it in just a moment, right? But as you can see, things are extremely clear. And also, please ask few people to probably give you some recommendation, one, two, three, whatever recommendation. If you can do two at least, because two is the maximum that it shows. So please try to get at least two recommendations so that your profile looks further filled up. And anytime someone talking about you, that is always helpful, right? So this is how you, and then finally add in some causes. If you are a part of anything or if you can support a cause, please add that, right? So the length of my profile itself is pretty massive. This is why close to around like 2,500 2,400 people find and discover me because of all of these optimization. They discover me on a very frequent basis. Like this is a weekly stat. So again, coming down to some of the posts, I'm going to share like some of the posts, right? The frameworks that I was talking about. So let me just dive in and show you over here. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share like this one of the piece of content that I created. This is a straight up content that I was talking about over here. Just one moment. So this is the identity layer framework, right? Where if I've achieved something, I'm going to talk about it because that makes people believe in you more, right? So when I became a part of LinkedIn's Creator Accelerator program, India, I was one of the only 200 creators, and this was the program this is the only program that was ever created, and these are the only 200 creators. I became a part of it. This really helped me, right? People started connecting with me, and that sort of really helped me out to build a fantastic brand and trust, more importantly, because at the end of the day, if you cannot create trust on the internet, it becomes extremely difficult, right? So this is the identity layer. Now let's talk about another piece of content, right? So now if you have not been featured or anything, that's completely okay. Now let's talk about this one of the story, right? Like this literally went viral for me, and this generated I think when it did, I think there's no impression right now, but I think it did about like half a million, just about half a million impressions, right? Again, it's very authentic, right? I spoke about how when about 7 years ago, right? Because this post was created 2 years ago, that how I lost and that loss went to. It made it very relatable because people do not want to talk about their failures on the internet. People think, oh my God, if I just post about my successes all the time, people are gonna like love me, people are gonna chase me. It doesn't work that way because anyone who has there's no single person in this entire world that has not failed, right? period. If someone has like, this is why it's very, very important to be authentic, right? This is where the story layer kind of comes into picture, right? So this is where again I'm talking about all of these. So now what I've done is I've combined the story layer with the value layer over here, where I spoke about like, this is my story, this is the value, right? This is my lesson that I have learned from this, right? Do not trust people blindly. Don't launch an unstable product. Do not build this, right? Follow a systematic launch cycle. Focus on the stability and not yours. So this is my 7 lessons that I shared over here. It literally went viral. And when I posted a picture as well, right? So people started connecting with me. Now every time people meet me, they do talk about this particular story. The ones who have discovered this piece of content, right? As you can see, this literally went viral, crazy, right? Almost 582 comments, 163 reposts. That's freaking insane. My account almost 3x in terms of growth with this one post. This is the power of LinkedIn. When it works, one post can do magical, and it can create so much opportunities for you. Again, understand that it's all about these 4 frameworks, right? Story, value, identity, and conversion. That's all. Now I'm going to share you one of the conversion posts, right, that I recently did, and oh my god, like that, the engagement that I got was just unbelievable. Let me just share that particular post with you guys. Just 1 second. So as you can see, I post a lot, right? I'm also going to share one more great hack with you guys. If you stick around till the end. So just 1 second. Again, this is where I talk about my story, right? As you can see, I always get engagements when you talk about story. I keep it very authentic. I talk about, if I am failing, I talk about it. If I succeed, I talk about it. It's very, very, very important to constantly talk about it. Just a moment. Where was that particular post? I'm probably going to share that particular post in the community. Let me just quickly check if I'm able to get it. Mm-mm. Okay, there you go. This is that particular post that I was just talking about. Almost 150K impressions, almost 1200 leads generated, right? This is the conversion framework, because when you build a lot of trust and then you do this conversion post, it goes madness, right? This one post generated almost $500,000 of pipeline for me. Like, I'm not kidding. These are people who want to buy, right? This is what we sold them. Almost $500,000 of pipeline with just one post. This is how powerful it is. Again, you guys can go and see it in my account, right? This is not bullshit. You can see the people commenting, you can see the engagements. It's just nuts, right? Then I'm going to show like this one of the video that went viral. Videos are doing extremely well, almost 200K impressions, as you can see, right? Videos are being pushed very, very aggressively. So I don't do anything crazy. I just use an app known as Caption app. I just record myself with a very raw footage, and I just add captions. That's it, and I post. Right? Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. Something extremely simple. And what I've seen is raw contents again working very well. So again, start posting some good video contents. Extremely, extremely important, right? So again, I'm going to start sharing a lot of these things inside the group community as well. I hope you guys have already joined the community if you guys haven't as of now. So far, are you guys liking the content? Please drop in some fire emojis if you are liking the content, if you're liking this webinar so far. Guys, if you're liking the webinar so far, and if you find this valuable, please drop in some fire emojis. I want to see if you guys are really enjoying something so far. Awesome. Thank you so much, Mohammed. Thank you so much, Romel. I'm glad you're finding it helpful so far. All right, guys, I'm waiting for the rest of the people. Awesome. Thank you so much, Gautami. Hey, Pranav, thank you so much. I'm glad you guys are liking it so far. Yes, Sanuj, I've written this myself because story is something that's about you. So it's very difficult to just like outsource it, or you cannot bullshit your story, right? Because that's your story. Never ever lie about your story, because if you don't remember your story and if someone comes up and never talks to you and if you lie about your story, trust me, it's gonna be a big mess, because if you grow your account, you will get invited at different places, so it becomes very very difficult, right? So now I'm going to talk about two very important pieces of things, right? First, let's talk about the content creation part, and then I'm going to talk about the optimization part, right? So now let's see. So this is the software that I use, which is known as autoposting.ai. Again, guys, it's free app. You guys can go sign up. And if you like the app, you can get a subscription. Otherwise, free is enough for you, most of you to get started with and get going with, right? The first thing that you do is let's try to get some ideas. Now, how do I get ideas? I go on Twitter, right? Because if I am looking for any trending topic that I want to talk about, I go on Twitter, right? I would probably just see what's in my feed, and if I want to talk about it, right? So let's see if anything is trending right now. I'm just going to check my explore at the moment, right? And nothing. I'm just going to type AI over here. Let's see what happens with AI. Okay, let's see, right? So someone has posted Perplexity is about to raise $1 million at again at $18 billion valuation. I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go to start from scratch. Yeah, I'm actually a football fan. I'm a crazy Manchester United fan. Been following them for the last 26 years since I was 9 years old. So my feed is mostly like I use to talk about AI and a lot of football, by the way. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to post it over here, right? Once it's there, I'm going to go on engagement, and there you go. And this is where like you have all the pre-written formats that are out there, right? So I'm going to go to the news section, go on major development. That's pretty much it. And I'm going to create one piece of content extremely quickly. I'm just going to create the generate button. Just 1 second. Use this particular format. That's it. And I'm just going to click on generate. That's it. Now, all the scraping, our agents are doing all the work. It's doing all the scraping. It's doing everything. And as you can see, the content is now fully ready. This is how you create news contents extremely quickly, right? Anything that's trending, go out there, copy that, paste it over here, select the format, and you're all set and ready to go, right? Now, let's talk about something else, right? Let's talk about some more content creation over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to create some pieces of content around this, right? So this is one piece of content that I recently posted. Or let's talk about this, right? Let's go over here. I lost 200K about 7 years ago, and this is what this is my learning lesson, right? I'm just going to select this. I'm going to remove this particular template. I'm again going to select engagement. Now let's see lessons and mistakes. I'm just going to select this particular format. I'm going to select this, use the format. Again, I'm just saying how you can quickly come up with ideas. Just share some of the information. That's pretty much it. Hit the generate button, just sit back, relax. All the agents are working behind the screen, trying to understand, trying to analyze everything. And then it's just going to quickly create a post for you within like 5 to 7 seconds, right? As you can see, done. 7 years ago, I faced a financial setback that cost me $200,000. It was harsh wake-up call, but it became incredible learning experience, right? As you can see, here are some of the insights: ignore due diligence, overconfidence, lack of things. Post is just bang on, and you can change to any format, by the way, right? Like this is how efficient this tool is. Select whatever post you want. So, for example, if I talk about the hardest 3 lessons, I'm just going to select this format and generate. This is what is working. So what auto posting and our team does it, we try to see all the trending posts and whatever is being trending in terms of the formats, everything comes into the account, and that's it, done. Right now, here are the 3 lessons. Right now, this is done. You can either edit it, copy it, and just come and publish, or you can just publish from here. Up to you, right? This is how easy it is. Or if you find any piece of article, you can paste the link, generate, and again, a new piece of content is created. Like it's that damn simple, right? Again, it's free, guys. Get started. Now, I'm not going to wait much time. Again, this was just a small part of it. I'm going to talk about the optimization part and how to get started. So what I'm going to do is this is how I'm going to sort of optimize, right? So just go into my profile. Let's take it and break it down step by step. First thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot of this. That's it, right? Just this of my profile. I'm going to come to Claude. I'm going to paste it over here and I'm going to say, please analyze this screenshot to help me optimize a LinkedIn profile. By the way, this is a separate project knowledge that I've created. If you guys need this knowledge and all of my files and everything, again, join the community. I'm probably going to share this in the future, but again, be a part of the community because again, the kind of value that I'm going to create for all of you guys, it's going to be freaking insane. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to love it. Again, please analyze this and let me know once done. Do not post anything or say anything. Just say done once analyzed. That's it. Right now, whose profile should I optimize? Guys, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let's see. I'm going to pick one profile. Who that guy or girl would be. Yes, auto posting does work in Hindi as well. All right, let's see. I'll go with Mohit. Let's go with Mohit's profile. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now take a screenshot of Mohit's profile, right? Now I'm going to come back over here and I'm simply going to say, please now evaluate this profile bio and write the bio very similar to the above Udit's profile. That's it. Let's break it down step by step like this, right? See this? There you go, Mohit. This is what you need to do. We help businesses implement sustainable EV solutions to reduce carbon footprint, and this is by 60%. And again, add in some of your credentials after that, right? Again, I don't know exactly what you do, but this is just like some quick information. I'm assuming you do something similar, but then again, this is something very quick. If you supply some of the more information over here and optimize it. So Mohit, if you can just let me know a bit more about what you do, that will be very helpful. Mohit, please drop in. But meanwhile, there's a question from Yuri. Yuri, I'm going to go back over here. So what you can do, Yuri, if you don't want to sound robotic or if you want to create your own format, what you can do is you can create on post content, come over here and just click on custom format and just type your own format. Done. That's all you got to do. Write in your own format and then the system is going to start writing in your voice, in your format, right? Also, at the same time, we are just going to release the brand kit format. So brand kit is going to coming out, I think, in the next couple of hours. So this should be available for all of you in next 2 hours. So once you create your brand kit, you write your own story, you write about your company, and that's pretty much it. Now, every single post will automatically have about you and your company embedded very nicely and very subtly. So this brand kit feature is going live in the next 2 hours, right? So I'm going to post about that in just a moment. But again, coming back to the profile part. All right, so let's type in over here. So Mohit does this. Now rewrite the professional summary again. All right, there you go. Right, again, this is how you start optimizing. So now what you do is you start taking each pieces of content. So for example, you take my story, take a screenshot of this, post it inside Claude and ask it to analyze. That's it, right? Again, write down this prompt if you want. Do not post anything, do not say anything, just optimize, just analyze and tell me once it's done. That's it. Now supply some of your stories, just some of your information, and it's going to write in the exact same format, right? You can also mention, please keep the same tone as and voice as Udit. That's all you got to say, and it's going to replicate, right? This is how easy it is. We are coming up with all of these inside auto posting very soon, where the agents will just optimize and do all the profiles and everything for you automatically. That's coming in very soon. But meanwhile, you can use Claude. This is how you really sit down and optimize. Again, it's probably in half an hour of work or 15 minutes of work. But once you have optimized your profile, guys, it's magical. I'm telling you, the amount of opportunities you would get would be insane. Remember one thing about profile, it is not about you, it is about the people whom you want to connect with and help. So please make it about them, right? When I say we help companies implement agentic AI to reduce marketing and sales op, we make it about them. It's very important to make it about them and not about you. No one cares about your achievements initially. People care about, can you solve my freaking problem? If you can solve their problem, damn, you are going to be in demand. Get ready for more job opportunities. Get ready for HRs to discover you. Get ready, if you're a founder, to connect with more VCs, investors, some great founders. Great opportunity for you guys. Again, tap in. I think this is how you really do it, right? With that, we're coming very close to end of this webinar. If anyone has any questions, please drop in. I'm going to keep the doors open for the next 5 minutes for people's question before we wrap up this particular webinar. So if you guys have any questions, please drop them in. I would love to answer and take up all of your questions.
Here. For
Yes, please go ahead. Hello. Great question from Tamiz. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. So GPT really lacks the understanding of human. It creates content in a very robotic way, and that is why I'm not a huge fan of Chat GPT at all. This is the reason why I particularly use Claude as a model. But if you don't want that at the same time, you can probably use Grok, or you can use. By the way, you can just use auto posting for an example. We do have different models that's available. You can just switch the model. I'm again gonna quickly share that with you guys. As you can see over here, if you come inside settings, you go to AI models, you can change the model, right? Like Forum Mini, Gemini 2.0 Flash, a DeepSeek as well. So we keep on adding more models over here. We're going to add more models if you guys want. So it's that easy to just change the model over here. So it just makes it like super, super dead simple, right? So again, it's up to you guys, but I'm just not a huge fan of ChatGPT. So that's why I use Claude typically. So we're going to be adding Claude model as well very, very, very soon inside auto posting. Just makes it dead simple for you guys to create amazing pieces of content. So the app is known as captions.ai for people who are asking. That's what I used in the videos to create captions. It does a translation automatically. Great piece of software again. Thank you so much, Romel. I'm glad you found this session helpful. You need set stars. Yeah, DeepSeek is pretty good as well. We're gonna be keep on adding more models. So again, it's completely up to you. So you really depends upon the plan that you get. So if you're getting, let's say, like subscription, then you don't need to bring in your own key. You use ours. But if you're getting the agency plan, then inside the agency plan, which is the toppest of the plans, if you want, you can bring in your own key as well. But we have our own key. You don't need to worry if you are on subscriptions or anything, or even if you have, the matter of fact, like LTD, you can get that. All right, guys, if you happen to have any questions, please drop them in. I'm gonna love to take up the questions. Also, at the same time, I'm gonna drop in the community link again. Please join the community. Again, sign up for autoposting.ai. It's absolutely free to get started with. I'm gonna just post the link over here for you guys for everything so that you can join in. Also, if you're guys posting any content, I'm gonna be creating a pod engagement channel over there. Post a piece of content over there, and if you guys are using auto posting, just tag in me over there, and I'm gonna love to create some engagement with you guys, right? That way my entire network kind of like sees that piece of content. Let me just reshare the link with you guys. Here is the community link. Once again, guys, feel free to join in. I guess there are no questions with that. I really hope you guys
Hello.
found it helpful. If you did, yes, Anuj,
Hello,
please.
Udit.
Yes, I wanted to ask a question. Like, I am a first year law student, and I am also into digital marketing as well. So, how do we get to go on with multiple content, right? Like, I want to showcase my legal skills as well, and the I also want to grab the market reach as well for my business or sort of work I'm doing. So could you help me with that, please?
Sure. Again, use that four frame content framework, Sanoj. You have to start with story as a layer, then you create the value layer, then you create the identity layer, and then you create the conversion layer. Conversion layer in the beginning doesn't work, and that's where most people make the highest amount of mistake, right? Now, the best part about you being in the legal industry is you can catch up the trends very quickly, right? So try to catch up the trend. So let's say
Yes.
something recently happened, talk about it. Give your own opinion, give your own view about it, and then ask people's opinion because people love giving opinions, right? You got to trigger that emotional factor within the content. This is where again you use auto posting to make it simple, right? Create that emotional factor and trigger that, hey, this is what it needs to be done. So as long as you're doing that, I think you will have a great opportunity at that particular stage. So that's how you do
Thank
it.
you, sir.
But again, start with stories. If you do not write stories, trust me, your accounts are not going to go viral at all.
Sure. Thank you.
Hello, Uday.
Who's this?
Hi.
Oh, hi,
I'm
Mohit.
Mohit.
What's up, Mohit?
Hi. Hi. First of all, great insights. Just one thing. So, content creation is sorted. Now, how can we automate this? In a week time, let's say we put up on the schedule, and automatically it's getting scheduled and posted.
So what you again do is you just create a lot of your pieces of content inside auto posting, and then you can schedule all your contents inside the platform itself. Now, what we are doing very interesting is we are releasing agentic features within the platform by next one and a half month, where all you gotta do is just tell us the topic. It will automatically look for the content. It will automatically post it. You don't need to do anything. So we're getting
Got it. Thank you so much. That's great.
we're getting there, right? Like we want to make sure that every piece of content gets automated. So agents are just beautiful. Agentic is just beautiful right now. There's just so much opportunities. Yeah. So we're just cracking in. Again, meanwhile, you can sign up for auto posting and just start using it, right? Like it's a great platform. I'm telling you. Anyone else? Any
Got it. Got it.
questions? Yeah, so we're going to be having the recording again. I'm going to be posting. Just join the Discord channel, guys. Also, I'm going to send out an email to everyone if anyone misses out on the Discord channel link, and this particular piece of recording as well is going to go to our YouTube channel so that you guys can find a lot of value again. But I guess that's pretty much. There's one more question coming in. What's the best way to target enterprise level retail brands, decision makers on LinkedIn? I've tried key again. This is where Tamiz, that you need to create a lot of value for people. So start with story, right? Once you have done with story, then after that you start creating value layers and identity layers, right? So you got to start creating good pieces of content, right? So there's this one company that I invested in, and that particular piece of that founder created a lot of stories initially, right? They were focusing on targeting D2C brands because they did same day delivery for D2C brands. So what precisely he started doing was he started talking about his own customers initially. When he did that, he would talk about their journey and not about how their product or services is going to help. So that's the best way to really target, right? So when I did that one particular conversion post, for an example, the $500,000 that the lead pipeline that I generated with just one post, that was precisely where I was targeting just enterprise. So that was all enterprise deals, by the way, right? That's how powerful it is. So start with again the story layer, right? It took me some time to reach to the point where people would trust me. You got to build trust at the end of the day. If you cannot build trust, people are not going to buy from you guys. Like a lot of you guys probably hoped, saw the ads, or probably knew me earlier. You thought, okay, let's just join in. I have zero hopes of what I can get value out of this webinar. But now that you see, okay, you've gotten some value out of it, there's going to be a trust that's going to be built, right? And if you start trusting, you would probably buy the product in the future. I'm just telling you that it takes time to build value for someone and build that trust. So don't rush in, take time and help people out at the end of the day. That's very, 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 very important, right? And again, meanwhile, if you guys have more questions, again, use the community as a way to reach out to me. Feel free to DM me inside Discord as well. I'm happy to help you, each one of you guys out. Yeah, Matlab, that's the whole point of community, and that's the whole point of me building the community with you guys. So Mohammed is asking, what is the niche and startup stage you invested in check size? I think that's a completely separate question, Mohammed. Feel free to reach out to me, and I'm happy to look into it. Um, Early startup mistakes. I think that's again a pretty different question. So again, feel free to reach out to me via DM. Let's keep this particular webinar to through this. So guys, thank you so much for everyone tuning in. I hope you guys really found a lot of value. I'm going to see you guys in the next webinar. I'm going to post the next webinar in the Discord channel, and I'm going to see you guys again. Thank you so much, and get ready for a ton of new value coming in. Webinars are always going to be free. This value creation is always going to be free. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great night, and thank you so much for spending your Friday night with me. Bye, everyone.